Gaudy stats. Good God, that's gaudy.
I wanted to get your immediate reactions to the Suns into the NBA Finals.
So it's funny. The timing is funny because I recorded this like short little podcast yesterday just by myself.
Yeah, I saw it just come on my feed, and the title just really kind of threw me for a loop.
I know, dude. And you kind of trolled me yesterday. You were like, "Oh, we got to talk about Chris Paul. I bet you're so excited." And
then, Chris.
But the thing is, like, I have never liked Chris Paul.
Let's dive into it. What is your beef with Chris Paul?
I don't fucking like his face. First of all,
wow. I mean,
I don't like
got
the
a
way
butter
he walks.
face. I mean, I think he looks.
He walks like a
adorable.
penguin. He's like always like strutting around.
Dude, oh wow, he does do that. He fucking waddles.
Dude, he waddles around.
He does waddle, man.
He's always in everyone's fucking face.
Shit, I didn't even notice that. But you're right.
He flops. I call him the most valuable flopper. He is. He's the MVF.
That's dime a dozen now.
I would even say no. It's true. You make a good point, but he was the original. He's like
the OG,
fucking Nas of flopping.
The Ice-T.
Yeah. He's like the Ice-T, or let's go back even farther, like the Houdini of flopping. You know?
Oh, that's
Grandmaster Flash of flopping.
Bold claim.
The fucking Kraftwerk of flopping. You want to go back to the beginnings of hip hop? Africa Bambaataa of flopping.
Wow. I don't know if I'd go that far. I mean, I remember, LeBron putting on a show with flopping all the time. Yeah. I mean, that's one of the things that really put me off of him was, early on in his first tenure with Cleveland, he'd be flopping.
He likes to flop. And he is an originator. He's one of the.
He's a flopper. He's
one of the. He laid the foundation. The flopping.
I'm sure we could go back maybe a little bit, but I mean, back in my day, when Michael Jordan, there was flopping.
There's
nobody
hilarious
flopped.
Compilations though of Jordan flopping. It's like really funny. It's like there's all these like Jordan haters on Twitter, and they like post these like lengthy clip shows of him flopping over and over again. It's pretty funny.
Are we sure it's him? Remember, he had 2 jersey numbers. So, are we positive that
conspiracy theory? He never flopped ever.
That's deep fakes.
I do think there's been a lot more flopping. I agree with you. LeBron is a culprit, but dude, I think it's just his stature, his Napoleonic. Stature,
Napoleonic complex. Napoleon complex. But he's just he's a winner, man. He just wins.
Well, he wasn't until this year, but
no,
I'm kidding. I'm being a little harsh, but I can't find fault with the 41 points on like 15 of 24 shooting and closing out.
31 points in the second half.
Dude, it was unreal. It was a great shooting performance.
He closed it out.
We just got him this year. It's going to take me a while to warm up to a guy that I've hated my entire life. It's going to take me a little while. Even if he's when they win the finals, I'm sure I'm going to flip completely, but I've never liked the guy. He was with the Clippers, one of the most dislikable, hated teams. Like he took
but the different, like, here's the thing. Chris Paul was traded to the Clippers.
He wanted to go to LA, and they nixed the Lakers trade.
And then he was traded to Houston, wasn't he? And then he was traded to OKC. Then he was traded to Phoenix. So it's not like he contract up. Let me go sign.
That's fair, but he kind of like it's been well reported that he kind of orchestrated the Phoenix thing. He wanted to go to Phoenix, like And I should like him for that.
Why? Why Phoenix?
Talk about hot, dude. It's like 150 degrees.
I know, right? Good Lord. That doesn't seem like the premier destination.
They're running out of water in the Southwest. I don't know if you read that.
It's like it's like Kawhi being like, dude, if you're gonna trade me to fucking Toronto. Trade me there. That's where I want to go.
Well, I don't think he wanted to go there either.
No, he didn't. He didn't.
It was like a 1-year rental for the price of DeMar DeRozan.
Championship. Yeah.
It's a pretty good.
Um,
But yeah, I'm gonna come around. I think. I think I naturally, you have your guys you like, you followed, their whole careers, and then you have on the opposite side the guys you don't like. You have your heroes and villains. Chris Paul has always been a villain.
Yeah.
He's
I mean,
ornery.
he's like a typical point guard, like he's like in a point guard. I feel is right up there with center, especially nowadays, as being like the most unglamorous. But you could like Stephen Curry's a point guard, but is he really? Like that's what he's labeled as.
No, point well taken. I mean, Steph is more like a combo guard. He's like a shooting guard.
Like your traditional point guard isn't necessarily like,
it's a dying breed in today's
game.
Yeah,
it's like because it's not a flashy position. It's the John Stockton position.
Yeah, it's like the shorts, like hike up your shorts a little more.
Yeah.
Get down in like that defensive stance. Feet, make sure everyone gets the ball.
So he's easily looked over, I feel, and he has been for most of his time in the NBA.
Now the media is just all over him though. They're gushing all over him and can't get enough.
No, I'll have to give props. I'm one of these guys that gives credit where it's due. I'm going to. Yeah, I do. Obviously, I do. I'm going to give credit to Colin Cowherd. He was calling for Chris Paul to win MVP back in like April.
He's not the MVP, man.
Yeah,
not in the regular season. Not in the regular season,
but I mean, I agree because if you look at
Joker
538 had like comps on players and how Jokic was just like leaps and bounds as far as statistics go ahead of everybody else.
Yeah,
but
even if everybody else had played a full season, I think Embiid probably would have won it. But Joker still had a great case for MVP, even if like that wasn't even a factor.
Man, but second round pick, what a steal that was!
I know, man. So much value. Like the guy, that GM is really good. I can't remember his name now, but
so apparently he was on the block for to get traded to Boston.
Wow.
It was I want to say it was the Doncic draft, or maybe the draft before that, the year before that he was on the block, but they were going to have to get rid of Jaylen Brown plus, and they didn't want to do that, which I could really kind of understand.
Good, man. I love Boston's young core. But okay, so let's talk about your Celtics. Okay, your team,
no, not my Celtics. I'm a Bulls guy.
Okay, well, so you don't have any. What's your opinion on the new coach? I mean, he seems like. I know you're a Celtics. What did you say? Sympathizer?
Yeah. I mean, I'll give the what's his name? Ida.
Ndoku, I think.
Yeah. What? It's gonna take me a while to learn this guy's name. Well, I mean, he was given the green light by all the players. So, I mean, it's one of those things where I think in order for the Celtics to really level up, they're going to have to I think they need somebody in there that's going to be able to like not take Jason Tatum bullshit where he just kind of quits on games. Like I don't think his heart's in it. I think Tatum at his peak, I think, is one of the five best players in the NBA.
I don't know about that, but like really
he takes way too many games off. Like you see that with him where he had that 50-pointer versus the Nets. I think it was like game 4. Yeah, well, I mean, he just took
he had
it
like
over.
50 against the Wizards too. I think just a few games before that.
Yeah, like how many players in the NBA are capable of doing that? At least against the Nets.
As a daily fantasy player,
Harden and Durant or Irving were hurt, that he could put up 50 like that and basically take over the game. There are not many players that can do that.
Won the game. It was unreal.
Yeah. So like it was a great performance, but like they
when
come
he's on, it's
Yeah.
like it's a beautiful thing to watch. It really is.
Yeah, but he's all about he's got that young Kobe in him where he doesn't like to pass. He gets really selfish. And he'll come down the floor and use the entire shot clock and just dribble balls down to or clocks down to like 3, and then he drives in.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Kinda
or
like
takes
hero
it
ball.
it's just he's kind of frustrating to watch, but when he's on, he's gorgeous. But like he needs to. They need to show a little backbone. They need to have a little backbone about them.
I agree.
And let's see if this coach can get it. But plus, the new coach is dating Nia Long, and I've always had a thing for Nia Long. She is fucking. She was smoking it Friday.
Oh, Nia Long. That's I was thinking. I got her mixed up with somebody else. Yeah, you're right.
Yeah, she the Giovanni. What's his name in Boiler Room? Ribisi. Giovanni Ribisi's. Love interest.
Oh yeah.
Like
it's been so long since I've seen that.
Oh, dude, she is fire in Boiler Room.
So that's his wife
with the short hair. Either wife or partner.
Gotcha. Okay. Yeah. I mean, like it's true. Like the Celtics, and this has been talked about in other podcasts and stuff, but
I think
the way
they
like wait for Kyrie after he's done playing, and they want to after he fucked the Celtics over so hard, and they're like, "Oh, Kyrie, can I shake your hand, sir?"
Yeah.
After every game, even when he punks them for 45, they're they wait in line like all those. Celtics. Let me shake your. Can I hug you? Can I? Kyrie, can I take your jersey? Can we? It's just dude, he left the Celtics in disgrace. And now you're just waiting in line to
they're kowtowing
you can't wait
to
to
him.
just kowtow to Kyrie after every fucking game. It's embarrassing.
Oh, it really is. And there are the reports that after they lost to the Nets, got that gentleman sweep, that they actually partied with Kyrie, and it is. I mean, so it's like. Back in my day, that would never happen.
Yeah,
Michael Jordan would never.
There's no competitive fire.
Yeah,
I don't want to sound like an old man, but there really is. They weren't mad really that they lost. They were
no. That's what I'm talking about. They don't have. Kyrie doesn't have it either, but Jason Tatum, they don't have that. I gotta win. Any way necessary. That's one of the things I that I really like about Giannis. Mm-hmm. I feel like he really he's got that drive. He wants to get better.
Yeah.
He's trying to
even when he's
he gets injured and he comes back out on the bench, he comes back out on the bench with the players.
Meanwhile, Kawhi is
he's MIA now.
He's in the box in the suite, just looking so disinterested. He looks like he's just sitting in front of a blank wall and just
it's
impossible. He finally came down to the bench the last game, but
he doesn't have that dog in him. Kyrie doesn't have that dog in him. I forget the stat, but there's some sort of stat that of Duke players that have won NBA championships since 2000 or something. And it's Kyrie Irving and another player that's some no name. And that's it. And then the point being that for all of the great stars that come out of Duke, every year, Duke player, dollars to donuts, a Duke player is getting drafted in the top 3 just about every year.
Oh, I think it's Danny Ferry.
Yeah, that sounds right.
Kyrie,
I mean,
it's hilarious.
Yeah, for all their renown, they don't have there's a Duke syndrome. You think you're the tough shit. You think you're the hottest kid on the block, everything's been handed to you your entire life. And that you can just kind of go into take this next step into the NBA and just, everything will just be breezy. Yeah, it'll be easy. That's how it's always been. And so they've never had to work for it. They come to the NBA, feel like they continue to not have to work for it. And you get people like Kyrie that have like loads of talent, but then just never apply it night in, night out. So
on a scale of 1 to 10, how much do you hate Kyrie Irving?
Oh God, he is absolutely the most loathsome player in the NBA. I mean, he is completely unlikable.
I don't understand
for various reasons.
So
I mean, he's just
like
petulant. He's petulant, and he's stomping, like going out of your way to stomp on the Celtics logo, which is, whatever. But then like own it, own it. Like, yeah, I fucking stomped on the logo. Like he's trying to like backtrack, trying to
like, what did the Celtics ever do wrong? They didn't do anything wrong to him. Like,
no, and it's bullshit of, like, oh, he said something to the effect that Boston's a racist city, which, it's kind of fine. True. But so somebody was like, so what has been your experience? Have you had people, say racist things to you, Kyrie? And he like deflected. Like he can't say, he couldn't give any concrete example of anything that Boston did that was racist to him specifically. But he's still going with that. And it turns out that while he was with Boston, Bill Russell kind of told him his story of what happened to him.
Yeah.
When he was a Celtic, which,
sure, he went through some crazy shit.
Yeah, of course. But like that was however long year, 30, 40 years ago. Yeah. Like you're going to take that. And not to say that Boston isn't racist, but like what big city doesn't have its share of problems? Like, what was it? Was it Philadelphia? Where they
Phillies.
Like and New York Knicks, where they were spit on Trae Young, and Philadelphia throwing popcorn.
Yeah.
On Westbrook. It's like those don't get tarred with that label as being racist the way I mean Boston is, I just think Boston, I mean, it's the cradle of liberty. I mean, it's Sam Adams, John Adams. All right, let's give Boston a break.
The cradle of liberty, I like that.
It's John Hancock. I mean, look, Paul Revere.
It's not Sully. 10 beers deep, screaming various racial profanities at an NBA player. It's John Adams.
Come on. It's like, come on. John Adams used to live here, man.
It's not like one of the whitest places in the country.
That's neither here nor there. We got a place called Jamaica Heights. Jamaica.
Oh, yeah.
We live in Jamaica.
Our good friend used to live in.
Yeah. So it's like,
but no, I mean the history is incredible, and I look forward to going back there.
Crispus Attucks,
getting deep. I'm talking like neck deep in the history.
Yeah. Oh yeah. God, we're gonna have to do. We'll do a gaudy stats, and I'm gonna throw out some gaudy stats about Boston
we'll do it in person.
Just a great place
we'll do
to
an
live.
In-person gaudy stats.
Yeah.
At Bunker Hill.
Oh God.
I bring my little recording device, and I can do it in person.
Oh man, yeah, we got to do this.
How many people died at Bunker Hill? How many bills were passed the first year?
I mean, first, Ben Franklin. All right, I'm gonna take Boston's gonna have to take a little bit of credit for Ben Franklin. That's where he was born, dude. As you know, dude.
Oh, that's true. Yeah, you got me in that.
Yeah,
but he's a Philly guy. We know that.
Ben Franklin.
No, but he spent a lot of time in Boston as well. And
Cotton Mathers.
We can all,
what?
and I'm glad that you agree with me that he was the greatest founding father. That
Well,
makes me happy.
he's pretty old at that point. Pretty old. He was
He
really
was a little
horny.
bit past his prime, but he basically was like the Kareem Abdul-Jabbar of founding fathers, though.
Yes,
Even in his like
combined with
twilight
a little bit
years.
of wilt. Combined with a little bit of wilt.
Oh yeah, 'cause he could do it all, and he was also eccentric.
Yeah,
And he was more wilt.
he loved to in France. I mean, he was really hitting on all the ladies there.
But see, we've talked about this. It might have been like there's been reports that he was like androgynous. So
No, man, he had I don't know. I think he was just old at that point.
Based on that Walter Isaacson,
couldn't get it up. I mean, he had the gout. I mean, come on. You have the gout. You're old.
Dude,
you probably can't get it up, but you're still horny as shit.
Isn't it crazy that he died at like 91 in those days?
I know.
How the fuck did he? And he had the gout for like 40 years or some shit.
Dude, apparently the gout is like one of the worst pains ever. Like when it attacks, it's like kidney stone level pain.
That's the thing in your feet, right?
Yeah. It's like mostly it can crop up anywhere or more than just your feet, but almost always at your feet.
I might be misremembering this, but I could have sworn there's this older guy I worked with at one point, and I'm pretty sure he had gout.
You like step on his foot. Oh, sorry. Do it on purpose. Oh, I got a gout today.
Because he was a video editor, and like video editors, we sit on our fucking ass for hours on end. You know, it's like the worst, most unhealthy thing you can possibly do. But I'm pretty sure he said he had a little case of the gout. So and I was like, did like a double take, like, huh?
He's like, what? What year is this? Is this 1615? Yeah. Like what?
Got a little case of polio coming on, like a little Chris Rock bit. Yeah,
got a case of the polio.
Yeah, it's like
I can't go to work.
It's like these old
polio is acting up. But yeah, man. So let's dive into this.
Yeah, I was gonna say,
kind of going off the rails.
No. Hey, it's the gaudy way, bro.
I know. Hey, I love it. Trust me. I was saying let's get into it like with the history. Oh, you were wanting to do the sports? Okay. Yeah, we can do the history or the sports.
Dude, we'll do a history podcast because I was thinking about this. Like gaudy stats could be. I mean, how many? This is just
go back in time,
the
man.
tip of the iceberg, my friend. Because how many stats are there across our time, our worlds, our history? It's like talk about war stats. You talk about historical stats. There's just so much to cover, but we've chosen to do sports for this time being, but who knows where it could go,
Yeah, I know. And I'm going to leave on one note is that I forgot to mention with the Celtics. I heard after games, Kemba Walker, he has his own like bachelor pad or whatever that he calls the stabbing cabin. Is
wow.
It's like lose or win, we're still getting in, or like something to that effect. But I like this, the stabbing cabin.
The stabbing cabin.
Inviting all the hoes to the stabbing cabin.
It sounds almost like what a serial killer would call his like den or something, but it's pretty good.
You're gonna stab some women.
I'm gonna stab you.
Yeah.
All right. Well, from one, do you want to? Speaking of stabbing, do you want to start with the Patriots and Aaron Hernandez?
Yeah, let me take a stab, if you will. Yeah. So,
or do you want to go with Tampa Bay first? Would you rather do Tampa Bay first?
Oh,
which is your favorite team now?
Well,
Tampa Bay or is it Patriots?
Obviously, it's the Patriots, and I think what 2020 really showed, if anything, is that and kind of parlaying from the NBA about number two guys, is that I think Bill Belichick really established himself as a great number two. Tom Brady was the number one, obviously, and Bill Belichick, solid number two in that dynasty. But I mean, he was very good. Hey, I love Bill Belichick as a coach. And I think he's a great defensive mind, but he way ahead of himself and thinking that he didn't need a quarterback. I can get shit together and make it into a winning team. It doesn't matter.
I call it Matt Castle syndrome.
Yeah,
because he saw what he could do
exactly
with Matt Castle, and he was like, "Well,
if I can do it,
this is only the sample size I need. This one season, I can do this without Brady, no problem." You know?
Yeah.
And same
Meanwhile,
with Garoppolo, for that's short.
Meanwhile, Brady is completely changing the narrative of what a quarterback can do at late stages of his career.
What a system quarterback can do too.
Yeah, I mean, I guarantee you. Well, hey, you think you could pass that by me? What?
I was so close.
I caught that at the very end.
And you missed the Aaron Hernandez thing earlier, but that was great.
The stabbing cabin. But
I should not be laughing at my own jokes.
I think you can make a connection between the unhappiness in veteran QBs and Tom Brady. What's happening with Tom Brady right now? What the Bucs are doing with Tom Brady, giving him basically everything. They're mortgaging their future. They're going to have to pay the piper at some point.
It's worth it though.
But
I mean, they already won.
I don't think it's a coincidence that you're seeing rumblings from Russell Wilson and Aaron Rodgers now. After Tom Brady wins the Super Bowl, that now you're seeing, oh well, bullshit. Well, you need to help me out here. Tom Brady gets the Bucs were able to keep all their guys. Why can't you sign me good players? But they're forgetting the reality of it is that those players were already there, and they just needed a Tom Brady to bring it all together, to make it coalesce into something special. And that's what I mean. I say it in jest, kind of, but I mean that really is kind of there's truth in that.
Yeah.
Because like the year before, they go 7-9. I mean, they were a losing franchise, a losing team, losing record. Tom Brady comes in, takes him about half the season to get shit together.
They were like a 500 team, basically.
Yeah,
7-9, weren't they?
I want to say they were 7-9 with Jameis in 2019, and then you get Brady in there and
explosive offense. The defense was horrible.
Yeah,
7-9.
Well, I mean, but it was more or less the same players as 2019, just Tom Brady. They got Tristan Wirfs.
They had the same defensive coordinator, or no? I can't remember. Did they have what's
Todd Bowles.
Yeah,
Todd Bowles. Yeah, because that was Arians' guy in Arizona.
And you also have Jameis throwing for 32 interceptions.
Yeah.
Yeah, for like almost 40
just
turnovers on his own. So Brady, what was Brady, like 15 or something? He was pretty low. I mean,
he was like, I want to say it was 42 touchdowns, 15 interceptions, something like that. Right now.
Yeah,
I know he was maybe it was 40.
Over 40 touchdowns for sure.
Yeah,
he only had 12.
Yeah, wow, yeah. I mean,
so Jameis had. I mean,
and I'm looking at this. While we're on the Bucs, I'm looking at the schedule, and I'm not going to sit here and say that
schedule, man.
Yeah, that the Bucs are going to go 18-0 or 17-0. But I look at it, like where can you
all right, well,
put out like a definite loss on this?
Let's go through it because it's good. We might as well just start it up with the Bucs.
Cowboys
week 1, Dallas
at home. Cowboys
Thursday night.
Yeah,
is that the first game of the season?
Yeah, inaugural game. They're winning that. Atlanta Falcons win. Yeah. LA.
Well, say if it's a home or away. Say if it's
home. All right, at LA.
So first two at home.
First two are at home. Those are 2 wins. At LA, let's come back to that because I mean you can.
It could be a loss.
That could be depending on how good LA is.
With Matty's staff
at LA, that could possibly be a loss.
Staph infection, I call him.
I like that. I hadn't heard that one. Yeah, the staph infection's there. So I mean, he could get. They could run sick on
infecting some people.
Yeah, on the Bucs that week. But then New England, absolutely, that's going to be a win. I don't see any way Tom Brady is going to come back to New England and lose that game.
Ooh,
Especially,
Bill Belichick's going to throw the kitchen sink, man. The kitchen sink game.
We'll see how that's going to be a very interesting game.
Bill Belichick has been studying film on Tom Brady with Tampa like all summer long. Don't you think he's just like every single day he's looking at some sort of like
yeah, but
breakdown?
I mean, after 20 years, don't you like if you're Tom Brady, don't you like I know this guy?
Yeah,
I know what he does.
They know each other really well.
It's true. I know what his tendencies are. So it'll be interesting from that standpoint. But I mean, shit, it's a Super Bowl defending Super Bowl champs that brought all 22 of their starters back, and it's the first time that's ever happened in the Super Bowl era, and
they got Giovanni Bernard.
Yeah, and Gio, and you can see like that by the end of the season they were clicking, like you could see Tom Brady was finally kind of figuring it out.
Something happened with defense too, man. That defense started clicking.
Yeah, exactly. So I mean,
I'm not going to say that Tom hitched his wagon to the defense, but it was kind of like a Ben-Hur situation where they're riding next to each other, you know, in chariots, like. It's like in Days of Thunder when the car gets behind the other car and gets its like wind drift, you know?
Yeah, it's like when it's 51 and you can see somebody getting up there. Oh, 49. No, let me make sure it's 51% Brady. 49. I'm going. No. You can't get. You can get close to me.
So what we're saying is they could be 2-2 after week 4. There's a possibility.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
So, dude, it's at New England on a Sunday night. I'm just saying it's going to be a difficult game.
I actually don't think it's going to be that difficult because
the running backs this year, I forgot. Like they got somebody else besides Giovanni.
They've got Leonard Fournette, Ronald Jones, Rojo, Ronald Jones.
So they still have their back. Okay.
Yeah. So
they're going to need
Leonard Fournette's going to be
not really early in the year, but it'd be different. I think if this game was like later in the year, of cold weather.
Yeah, no. And you also go, who's going to be starting at quarterback for New England? Is it going to be Cam Newton? Cam Newton, that's going to be a definite loss. Cam Newton sucks.
He's going to be better this year after having a full year and not having COVID.
Dude,
COVID fucking him up.
That's a narrative that is just a lie because at Oakland before he got COVID, he sucked. He got good fantasy points that week because of his legs.
Yeah, he did. He played okay.
But he sucked. He was throwing balls into the ground.
He was incredible versus Seattle, though. I think that game was
one game, but as it turned out, Seattle had one of the worst defenses in the league last year.
That's a good point. Hey, you make good points.
Of course, Seattle was getting torched by everybody early on.
I'm on your side, Kemp. I am on your side, buddy. All I'm saying is I feel like they're going to be in the Lions' den. But here's the thing, though. It's almost like a home game for Brady because New England still loves him, you know?
Oh, yeah.
I think more New Englanders actually
there are a lot of people still on Team Brady.
Belichick. Yeah, so.
Yeah, because, I mean, especially after last year where you see how stark the difference is of what happened when Brady left New England, brought the Super Bowl with him, and then what happened with Bill Belichick, who fell flat on his face. You
can't deny the defense was gutted with the COVID exempt players, like the New England defense, all those guys who didn't play.
Yeah, no. But I agree. So COVID didn't do the Patriots any favors.
Yeah.
And I think that's one thing that Bill Belichick kind of is getting a pass for, just because Cam Newton was so bad last year.
You think he kept him in there just to deflect away from him? You think he kept Cam Newton in there? Belichick did.
That's actually.
I'm just going to blame it on him. Everyone's going to blame it on him.
Yeah, because the defense was absolutely fucking bloody awful. They played San Francisco. I mean, you remember that San Francisco game where was it Jeff Wilson?
It crushed him,
just went ham on them, 200 plus yards. I think 3 touchdowns. I mean, they couldn't stop a fucking nosebleed. So, so I like that defense was so bad, and Bill Belichick, being a defensive, guru, was unable to patch it up. I mean, the later in the season, the Rams were running roughshod on the Patriots too. I mean, it was all year that was happening. They had been drafting like piss poor. They didn't have linebackers. They didn't have anybody to replace Dante Hightower. Stephon Gilmore got hurt. I mean, it was awful. By the end of the year, like, man, I was ready for the season to be over.
I feel you on that.
Yeah.
All right, let's go back to the schedule here because
so New England, so Cam Newton or Mac Jones. Mac Jones rookie, I think that's a loss either. So I mean, I don't see New England winning this.
Really quick. Well, actually, I'll ask you that when we do New England. I want to know what you've been hearing about Mac Jones. But next game will be
Miami.
Home
that's going to be
versus Miami.
Home versus Miami. That's going to be a win.
Miami's going to be improved, but I'm going to agree with you on that.
Yeah.
Then we got
at Philly.
Yep.
With Jalen Hurts, who I don't think is that good of a quarterback. That's
good
me personally. Yeah, good fantasy quarterback, but as far as being able to lead a team down the field when they need him in the fourth quarter, like that's just not that guy. I don't think.
Wow.
Especially not this year.
Planting your flag. Okay.
Yeah. I mean, hey, maybe I'm wrong, but Jalen Hurts doesn't seem like that guy. And,
like the cut of
to
his
be honest,
jib?
like I don't think that Philadelphia is necessarily sold. The Eagles are sold on Hurts either.
I don't think they are really,
because there were rumors that they were going to trade up to draft one of those.
Yeah, I remember hearing that, but they didn't actually do it.
Yeah, so I mean, we'll see.
Yeah, okay.
And then we got Week 7, Chicago. I'm going to say at
home.
At home versus Chicago. That's going to be a win. At New Orleans Saints with Taysom Hill, Jameis Winston. I don't see either of them beating.
Jameis Winston revenge game? Maybe?
Question mark? No, that's not going to happen. Not versus the defending Super Bowl champions who have all 22 starters back.
Yep.
All right.
Bye week.
Week 10. Yeah. Bye week. Then week 10 at Washington. I actually think this could be a sneaky good game.
Fitzmagic. Revenge
especially
game.
If Washington's defense is all that it's being hyped up to be. Yeah, you got and one thing about Fitzpatrick is that he
anytime he plays a team, it's a revenge game.
Yeah,
anytime he plays any team, it's
this is the revenge game you're talking about. You mentioned Jameis. No, this is the revenge game versus Tampa. But I think Fitzpatrick plays up to the competition. So, like, his best games are versus some of the top teams. He destroyed New England a couple times.
Oh yeah, a couple years ago
when he was with the Jets.
In New England, Miami, like they ruined their.
And with Miami,
prevented them from getting the 1 seed.
Yes, yeah, exactly. Yeah. So, and with Buffalo as well.
Is he Brady's kryptonite, you think?
Yeah, I will say that whenever they were playing in Fitzpatrick, I was always kind of scared that they were going to drop one. It was like one of those games that you like don't expect, but kind of expect.
I didn't think you would think that that Brady is Fitzpatrick's son. Like he's his son. He's like he big boys Tom Brady every single time.
Well, there's something about that beard, man. It's the fear of the beard. It is manly beyond all doubt. It's as manly as wearing a denim shirt.
So if they were hanging out together and Fitzpatrick was like, "Hey Tom, get me a beer now," Brady would immediately get up and like run.
Yes, sir. Okay, yeah. No, Ryan, that's my boy. Hey, what's going on? Yeah.
And then Tom
he was just asking.
He would like rub his head like he's a dog. Yeah, classic. Yeah. Well, then they're gonna play the Giants at home. That's probably a win.
Of course, that's a win at Indy. I mean, I think that's going to be a win.
Who's quarterback going to be?
Carson Wentz.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah, so
See,
Carson Wentz.
this is refreshing my memory on some of this shit.
Yeah, so Carson Wentz is QB. They still got an aging T.Y. Hilton.
Yeah. Do you think Carson that could be a renaissance for Carson?
Well, he's also with Frank Reich.
Yeah, I think he's going to do better this year.
QB with like his MVP almost. His MVP that wasn't year.
They have a much
because
better
Tom
offensive
Brady
line.
was clearly better than him that year. The MVP year that wasn't, that was that was Frank Reich. That was the magic of Frank Reich on Carson Wentz. So who knows if he can bring that magic back? And like you were saying, they had a great O line in Philly that year. They've got a pretty solid O line this year. I want to say PFF ranked it in the top 2 or 3.
Wow.
I believe they had Cleveland as the number 1 offensive line.
I can believe that.
So Baker Mayfield.
Where was
whoop, whoop. Baker
Where were
Mayfield.
the 49ers in that? You remember?
I don't.
Don't worry about it.
They were so. I saw like they gave like the top 5 worst, or the bottom 5 and then the top 5. So they were probably somewhere, obviously somewhere in between. But I want to say they name dropped them as being like a top 10.
I hope so. Yeah, I mean,
Yeah,
they do have the pedigree. All right, Atlanta.
Win.
That's
Come
a
on.
win.
Yeah.
Buffalo at home.
Buffalo at home.
That's gonna be. Ooh.
That could be
indoors. Josh Allen indoors.
No, that's outdoors.
Well, Tampa Bay at home, right?
Yeah. It's,
they don't have a
Raymond
dome?
James is outdoors. That's an outdoor stadium.
My bad.
Yeah,
I was just thinking like good weather. So it's gonna be good weather probably.
Yeah, and I'm still not sold on Josh Allen long term. I mean, he had it.
What more can he do, man?
Some QBs have just great seasons.
You just don't like his face. This is one of those situations where
it's very punchable face. This is true.
I mean, just saying, let's look at his stats. 37 touchdowns, 10 interceptions. It's actually not as good as I thought, but it's still pretty damn good.
I mean, he runs. He's
70% completion last year, 69.2 completion percentage.
I comp him to
Steve Young.
Ben Roethlisberger. He's got that build of Ben Roethlisberger. He's he can, like, Ben Roethlisberger, back when he was young, could actually run the ball when he needed to.
Yeah.
I mean, it was a beast to
rushing
bring
touchdowns
down.
his last 3 years. First year, 8, 9, 8. Last
Jesus.
3 years. And he's just Steve Young. To me, he's literally like a carbon copy of Steve Young.
Josh Allen?
Yeah, man. He's
out of here.
He's a 69% completion guy. Threw 37 touchdowns, 10 interceptions, and he rushed for 572 yards and 8 touchdowns. Or sorry, wait. Oops. He rushed for 420. 420 yards. And dude, I'm sorry. I am fucking all over the place here.
Yeah. It's
right?
Obviously not. Yeah, no, it's probably not right.
8 touchdowns.
Yeah, we're not sure about that, guys. We are not going to put the blue check mark on that.
I had some trouble with
it could just be like a couple yards. But I was watching the NFL's like greatest plays, and they had the Steve Young play where like he's doing spin moves and everything. I mean, it was
the Burger King commercial. Remember that against the Vikings where the king is wearing like they used to put the king's head on like quarterbacks and stuff and like show like one play. He has that play against. Just if you want to see Steve Young doing Steve Young things, just look up Steve Young Vikings run. Is incredible. It's like
that's it. That's the run where he's like everybody's missing him. He's like a 4-4 quarterback, running back. He's not.
Well, it's more just.
But he runs like a drunken. It's like everybody was like trying to really tackle him, and they're tackling air.
Yeah. But he's like staggering the whole time. He's not like super fast, but I will say he's more shifty than Josh Allen. Like he could like juke. He could juke people.
He's
easily.
more cerebral.
Wow.
You know,
so that's what it is. You think Josh
Yeah.
Allen's a fucking idiot?
Yeah, pretty much. Pretty much.
Okay. Now we have that settled.
Yeah.
All right. So Buffalo. Okay. So now I'd say we have like 3 games where a
Okay,
little bit of
no,
a gray
so
area.
we'll put Buffalo in the
Possible
maybe. Yeah.
Okay.
And then so you got that.
And by the way, we're coming back to that Rams game. Don't think I
Right.
forgot.
So you got
the
the Rams and Buffalo.
Then New Orleans at home.
New Orleans at home, that's going to be a win.
Sean Payton. Second
Yeah,
crack at him. Second crack.
Nah, I'm
He
not.
gives Sean Payton 2 cracks. Usually he
Yeah.
cracks he gets you
He's
one
gonna
time.
he's gonna go. Yeah, he's gonna
Crack
take
that nut.
advantage of
He's
that
gonna crack
crack.
the nut.
He's gonna take advantage. He will get in there. But yeah.
Get in that.
But with Taysom Hill and I don't know how that offense is gonna work really.
We can look last year. I mean,
I didn't think it looked that great. I didn't think it was anything special, especially when Breeze was out, and then when Breeze came back, I thought it was quite pedestrian.
Well, Breeze was a broken man, but
yeah,
when Taysom Hill was in there,
yeah. I mean, I didn't think it looked anything special, but
good fantasy numbers, but yeah.
No, but then you got and then they end at Carolina, at New York, and then Carolina at home.
Easy ending there. That's
so I mean,
we're
talking 15-2 at worst.
All right, so let's get your so you're gonna do the over under at 14, so 14.5 wins for the year.
Oh, and let me give you
wait, hold on a second. There's 17 weeks. I keep forgetting.
Yeah. So it's instead of 14-2, it's 15-2.
Wow. Okay. But 14.5 wins, are you going to go over or under?
14.5. I would go. Oh, I'd go over.
All right.
But and here's another. So on DraftKings,
I'm going to take the under, so we can do a little.
Wow. Put it on the board.
Bing.
So on DraftKings, the Bucs are plus 5,000 to go undefeated, which means a $100 bet would win you $5,000 if they went undefeated.
Do it, dude.
Which means a $10 bet would win you $500.
Do it.
So I'm like, dude, I might have to take that action there. $10.
Put down 100, man. Put down 100. Then you can really own it.
It's so hard though. Because that is so hard.
Do the different. Do 50. Do 50. $50.
So $20 wins me 1,000.
Just do that. Yeah. Nice round number.
I should do that.
3 figures in your pocket.
I mean, because it's at plus 5,000, man. That is a.
It's gonna be so funny when they lose the first week. It's gonna be hilarious.
And it ends. Yeah, I know. I would be. I actually might do that just as like a.
It'll make it more fun because you're a fan at this point. There's no.
Yeah, I'm a Tom Brady guy, but they're not even the favorites on that to go undefeated. I believe KC has better odds.
That's fair.
Like plus 3,500 or something like that.
I haven't even looked at their schedule, but
I haven't either. So
I don't think their division is that tough, is it? I mean, Chargers are going through a rebuild, kind of.
Well,
they're good.
You got the Oakland, Denver.
Yeah, their division is not that good.
It's better. It's better than the NFC South. NFC South is hot garbage.
It's a good point. Yeah. And Denver is going to improve probably. Yeah.
But yeah, so
this is early season prognostication.
Yeah. So guys, you heard it from me first. Go out there, go to your bookies, put $10 on the Bucs going undefeated. You'll thank me later. If they win. If they don't, you'll forget about it. But
so this is just for the regular season, right? Not the
just for the regular season. If they go undefeated.
Yeah, dude. I really hope you put it on the board. I hope I want to see the stub. I want to see the bet slip.
All right, I'll do it. I'm gonna put it on, man.
Can't wait, man.
Oh
All
God.
right, let's shift over to the fucking Patriots now. Your team. Oh my god.
Crowd's going wild.
No,
Oh my God.
fuck Belichick. Yeah, we love Brady.
Chapter 2. Bill gets revenge.
Yeah, the Empire Strikes Back for sure.
Yeah.
They open the season at home, Sunday afternoon. Nobody's going to be watching. They hit it away in like a time slot no one will be watching. It's probably like the third game in the afternoon slot.
It was
the fuck anymore.
It was the game equivalent of when a wide receiver's like, "What do I do? Go long, just go long."
Well, speaking of wide receivers, they got some new ones.
Yeah.
New batch. We talked about it, but
Nelson Aguilar, Kendrick Bourne. Apparently, Kendrick Bourne did not look good in OTAs and minicamp. In fact, they're from what I was reading, their best overall, their best wide receiver was Jacoby Myers.
Well, he has experience in the system and everything.
Yeah,
so
but Nelson Aguilar looked okay. So Nelson Aguilar right there in the middle. Jonnu Smith is immediately like hurt, like tweaked a hammy or something. So like he didn't play, which I'm like, what the fuck?
He barely played last year, right?
What?
He barely played last year, Jonnu, right? I mean, he was in and out.
No, he played. He was on Osborne's team.
I feel like he was in and out of the lineup. He was
because I had this conversation with Osbo about this, and like he was forced to like stay in and block for like half, like the middle part of the season.
Okay.
And then went back, and then towards the end of the season, like killed it again. So
Hunter Henry belongs. Hunter Henry belongs in New England. Like he's a New England guy. You know?
Oh, okay. He's got that New England look
about
to him. Yeah, he's just got nice hair. It's something.
You know, and in tradition of Wes Welker and tradition of Julian Edelman. You know.
Yes. You know, you need that type of scrappy
He's
gym rat.
He's gonna walk right into that role now that Julian's gone.
The guy that really loves to study, which we all know.
Yeah.
We can just assume Hunter Henry loves to study because he's that type of guy.
Well, the announcers will assume it. Like, they'll just talk about it probably nonstop.
Loves the film room. They live for the film room.
Speaking of like easy schedules, this one, the first two games, then you got the fucking the Jets, who could be good, but right now they're
doubt that. Yeah. So both of those are going to be wins.
New young quarterback.
New Orleans Saints, that's going to be a win. Tampa Bay loss. So we'll loss. Houston, hold on. Do we need to say if it's at Houston?
Yeah.
It's at Houston. Win. Home at Dallas. That's going to be tricky. Yeah. I'll go ahead and say that's a loss. At home in New York Jets win. At LA Chargers. Man, my gut is like that looks like a hard game.
Ooh, but by the way, we didn't talk about the Rams, the Bucs. That's a loss, probably, right?
Versus the Bucs. Yeah. I think that
could be a loss. It's a good
start. That would be a trip up game for them. I could see them losing that.
Okay, so back to the Chargers.
But back to the Chargers. I mean, on paper that looks like it could be a loss, but man, they whack Patriots of last year. The shitty Patriots of last year waxed the Chargers. I want to say it was like 43-0, 42-0.
Belichick versus rookie QBs.
Yeah, 42
horrible coaching. Yeah.
Good Lord. So like, I want to say that now. I'm gonna say it's a win for the Patriots.
Okay. Now we got two losses so far, or three? Is it two?
Well, we'll see. The Buccaneers and the Cowboys.
Okay.
All right, and then we got at Carolina. I'm gonna say I think Carolina's trash. They've got Sam Darnold. Although we'll see with Christian. If Christian McCaffrey's back, that could be something. And they've had a hard time with Carolina in the past.
At Carolina.
Yeah.
Let's give them a loss. It'd be fun.
All right. I don't know if I'm ready to give them a loss on that though. We'll put that as a maybe.
Okay, maybe.
So Cleveland,
2 losses, 1 maybe.
At home versus Cleveland. I'm gonna go ahead and say that's a loss.
Yeah, that's fair.
Baker Mayfield. So we got 3 losses now. At Atlanta, that's a win.
Okay.
Tennessee, home versus Tennessee.
We'll say tough for you. This has got to be tough for you.
Oh man,
because you are.
I think this will be closer. This will be closer than it was. Oh fuck! But they got Julio now.
Yeah, but they're gonna throw to him like twice a game. I'm joking, but
yeah, no.
I talked about this. I talked about this with Sam, but can you believe that the fucking Packers didn't get Julio? Like
I heard y'all talking about that. Well, no, because like
the price was so
he's
small.
got like a huge number. He's got a huge cap number on him.
Yeah.
You know, he's old. He's past. He's like 30 plus. I want to say he's like 31. Like how many wide receivers are good past 30? Like they just don't exist.
I think even for like 1 year, like one good year though, I think he's
lucky. I mean that's what you would be doing it. You would be doing it. I'm getting him this year.
Yeah,
because I think that he is the missing piece. Which I guess you could
Devontae
say
on one side and Julio on the other. Even the older Julio, when he played, he was effective. It's just like he just got hurt, here and there.
Yeah, I mean, I think there's a legit argument you could put to say, oh, Green Bay should grab him, but I just think their weak point isn't offense; it's defense.
Yeah.
Like they need, but
right.
and yeah, I can see why Green Bay Packers fans would be upset or disappointed or whatever, but I can also see it from the other side. And to be honest, I don't know if that's a good move for the Titans for the same reasons why it's not a good move for the Packers. Like you're getting Julio because you think, okay, we're getting Julio because Julio is the missing piece. With Julio, we can go to the Super Bowl. And I don't really. Do you think Julio means you can beat Kansas City? I don't think that does.
I still have questions about Ryan Tannehill. I mean, I think he's good.
Yeah,
but
you got Tannehill.
If they had like a better quarterback, then I would be like, holy shit. But their whole offense is built around Derrick Henry in the running game. I will say if maybe they'll open it up this year a little more, but unfortunately, I think it kind of fucks with. I'm not gonna say tanks, but I think it messes up the fantasy value of Brown and Julio.
I don't know, man. Like I think they'll still get theirs. They've because
they'll both be 1,000-yard receivers, really?
Well, because they're. I know AJ Brown. Well, both of them. Their calling card isn't on volume. Like. They kind of maximize their targets. Their ability to make yards after the catch. So they might only get 4 targets a game, but then you'll see them 4 targets for 150 yards or whatever. Like AJ Brown was awesome last year at
yards per catch.
Yards after the catch.
That's a good point. But we'll see. But that's neat. I guess I kind of took us off on a tangent.
Yeah, but so Tennessee Titans. We'll say that's a loss. So that I've got them at 4 losses now.
4 losses, yep.
At Buffalo, we'll say that's
Monday
a loss.
Night.
Yeah,
Monday
well,
night.
I'll call that a loss.
Wow.
So now we're up to 5 losses.
5 losses.
All right, so now
late bye week. Here we go.
Bye
Here we
week.
go.
And then Indy versus at Indy.
To be determined time.
I think they've spent too much money. They've spent too much money in the offseason to lose to a team like Indy, so I'm putting that as a win. Home versus Buffalo, I think they can win that.
Yeah, maybe.
So I'll put that as a win. Jacksonville, I'll put that as a win. and at Miami.
That's a loss.
All right, we'll say that's a loss. So I've got them at 6 losses and
So they're a playoff
11
team,
wins. So 11-6.
That's on the fringe of the playoffs.
Yeah, that would be right there. As yeah, that would be right on that edge there as a wild card team. So yeah, they could do it, but like that's the thing about that sort of record is like, what does that get you? That gets you a first round playoff exit and a middle of the round draft pick. So it's like that's kind of like the worst.
Could they shock the league? Could they have a great season? Is it possible? What are their chances of winning a Super Bowl? I'll just put it that way.
I would say that the chances are better that Tampa Bay goes undefeated in the regular season.
Wow.
And then the Patriots go to the Super Bowl. They don't have the horses. They've made a lot of good signings in free agency on defense. I think their offensive free agent signings are kind of overrated, especially if Jacoby Myers is showing out to be still the best player, wide receiver.
He's good, dude. He could just be a good receiver though, because like he's legitimately good. I think, honestly.
I mean, yeah, like he could.
He flashed last year. I mean,
he's definitely better than his undrafted status. For
sure, yeah.
Like he's nothing jumped off the page with him coming out of college. But his ability to just, some players.
How big is he though? He's like pretty big. Oh, he's only 6'2". He's 6'2". 6'2".
Yeah, it's decent. That's pretty good size, especially now when you like every other guy seems like there's 5'10" or 5'11" or shorter. But some there are certain players, certain wide receivers that just can get open for whatever reason. Like they're just able to get open. Adam Humphries, that's another, like, they're just like
Cole Beasley.
These are the guys that get overlooked time and again because there's no way to like measure that.
Emmanuel Sanders too. I feel like he can also.
Yeah, exactly. And I think Emmanuel Sanders actually got drafted fairly highly, but and he's on Buffalo now, by the way. That's a kind of a dark horse candidate. Do
they still have John Brown?
No, he went. John Brown he's with Oakland now.
Interesting.
So that's like a sneaky dark horse, wide receiver for fantasy this year.
Thanks for the rec, man.
This is what I do.
Go ahead and steal that from me.
I'm gonna go. He's gonna.
Thanks for the intel, buddy.
Blow all his load on Manny Sanders.
$50 on
Manny Sanders. But like,
call it in.
I was actually surprised that Manny Sanders. He's kind of forgotten last year, but he actually had a decent stat line.
Wasn't bad. I mean, well, he had some. He had those games where he was like the number one receiver because Michael Thomas was out.
Yeah, he missed 2 games. Still was able. Didn't have Drew Brees. That quarterback situation was all up in the air. Still had 5 TDs and 726 yards. I mean, not great, but it wasn't bad.
Not great, not awful. I
mean,
middle.
Yeah. I mean, but whatever.
I gotta ask you though. I gotta ask you about this. About the Patriots quarterback of the future. I mean, we talked about him a little bit, but what are your little birdies, little tweet,
man.
little birdies? What are they telling you now? Now that we're closer to the season,
Mac Jones was apparently the best QB at OTAs and minicamp. That he was,
but so better than Cam Newton and Brian.
Better than Cam. Better than Jarrett Stidham, better than Brian Hoyer. And actually, they were saying Jarrett Stidham. Apparently, word is Jarrett Stidham had a pretty good OTA and minicamp as well. Now, they're not going to be able to keep Stidham, Newton, and Mac Jones. So there's talk that if Stidham actually shows out.
They might drop Mac Jones.
Yeah. yeah. They might drop their first round draft.
That'd be so funny.
Oh yeah, that not happening. That they actually might drop. They might cut Cam Newton. Because they're not. There's no way they're going to be able to keep all three of those guys: Newton, Stidham, and Mac Jones. But they're not going to be able to release Stidham and then bring him back onto the practice squad.
Yeah.
Somebody else is going to grab him at that point if he becomes that good. So they're going to have to make a decision at that point. But as far as Mac Jones goes, they're saying that, like, again, don't want to lay it on too thick, but they're saying that he's just like a study magnet, that he loves the playbook. He goes home and sleeps with it.
That's what they said about him coming out.
Well, but they're like, it's continuing that he's.
I mean, like the draft people said that, like, he was like he studied a lot, and the intel that you told me from Alabama was that, like, he was
that he was
correcting Nick Saban. No, it's an out route, not an in route. Sorry, Nick.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, Mac. My bad.
Yeah, and he's got that same, like, chip on his shoulder. Like he's not. He's willing to talk shit. He's not like this. Oh, I'm just a rookie. I know my place. Like he's willing to, like, call people out. And take on that mantle.
He's not afraid to get up in that ass. That's what.
Absolutely.
He'll get up in that ass. He will get up in that ass.
Well, yeah. Well, with that big dad bod he's got, I mean, who wouldn't? No.
So he's glowing camp reviews for him. So so I'll put it this way. Go ahead.
So I was like, so there's a difference between the report. You can hear it coming out from the coach's side.
Yeah.
You take that with a huge grain of salt, but when it's coming out from the reporters, the people that are watching the OTAs and minicamp, like, when they're saying, oh, this is what he looks like, he looks really good, especially guys that I follow for the Patriots, the beat writers there, that like there's a little bit more credibility when it comes from those guys as opposed to comes from New England office, the Patriots front office, like somebody close, within the Patriots organization was saying this, which is what they were saying about Jarrett Stidham last year. Jarrett Stidham looks like he's great according to the Patriots. Turned out he's a fucking dud. So
Stids.
Oh God! But, like, so when it comes from, like, a beat writer, it carries a little bit more weight. I mean, you still have to, kind of balance
more
it out.
impartial.
Yeah. But supposedly he's looked really, really good. We'll see what happens. I mean, because there's a difference between OTAs and minicamp where you don't have pants on or pads on. Don't have pants on. A little Freudian slip there. Oh man. I like.
Oh God, I have like the mind of like a.
You can see where my mind's going. All I'm imagining right now, with no pants on.
I mean, I think it's hilarious. So
when you have no pads on versus, like, you're actually in the game. Yeah. With pads, you got, like, you're not allowed to tackle the quarterback now versus in real game situation, but that he's making the right reads. All that mumbo jumbo.
But dude, can you believe this? And just a little bit over 1 month is the first Patriots preseason game.
Oh my God.
August 12th. August.
No,
12th.
and this is why Sam. Not that I think about Sam.
I can't believe you went this long without bringing up.
Been thinking about him the entire time. No, I haven't actually. I haven't been thinking about him at all. He doesn't even cross my mind really. Never think about.
I'm just playing, but it's just funny how you guys always talk shit about each other. Like,
well, I mean, this is what besties do, But yeah, Sam's got a lot of nerve, to say, to really denigrate the NFL the way he does, and then call himself a fan. How dare he? I mean, I was asking him what he thought about the NFL draft. And again, I don't think about this stuff. So, I mean, you can go ahead. I don't think about it.
Mouth protest too much.
Yeah. I totally don't. I totally don't. Yeah, just go ahead and put that in the book. Do not think about Sam ever. All right.
Wow,
Do not think about Sam.
Qualifying this statement.
Yeah. So I'm like, Sam, tell me about the draft. He's like, I didn't watch the draft. The first week in May is all about the Kentucky Derby. I'm like, dude, really? You're going to talk horse racing over the fucking NFL draft? I mean, we're talking about fantasy football. The stakes couldn't be higher now.
He's a Louisvillian, man. He's the.
I mean, I get that. You know, nobody loves the horses more than yours truly. I love horse racing.
Probably like 90% of people like them.
No, I am in fact, on Bumble and Tinder, like that's one of my calling cards. Horse racing extraordinaire. Talk to me about it.
I thought you called yourself the human horse.
Yeah, basically.
I think I mixed that up.
Yeah, so I mean that is but there's a time and a place. And the time and place is.
I'm on your side. You know, I'm not a big horse racing guy.
Yeah,
I used to bet based on the names. That's how much I know.
And you won 50% of the time. I bet. You know, it's like.
Well, I did win on this horse call. I'll never forget his name. Earth's Vain Shadow. I thought it was so poetic.
Yeah. Oh wow,
so I
man.
put like $2 on it, and it was like 60 to 1.
Yeah.
It won, but then.
You won like $150 and you're like,
yeah. And then I was like, oh wait, so now I have my system. And then I lost like 10 times in a row. And I think then after that, I won one at a time. And then I lost. I haven't won.
Are you sure you
I
want to
haven't won since like 2005. Seriously.
Yeah. Like the guy that's like, yeah, give me $10 on number 6. Are you fucking serious, man? Like the bookie saying that?
It's like 5 to 6.
The guy taking your money.
It's like 6 to 5 odds or something. It's like, I put $1 on. Congrats, man! Great. You won like 10 cents.
Yeah, $1.10. You got $1.10. But yeah. So, but I was like, look, the solution's easy, Sam. When it conflicts with the draft, the powers that be, Churchill Downs needs to go ahead and postpone the race to the following week, or do it the week prior. You know, it's really easy to do. Obviously this was they messed up on this one on this year because I'm sure ratings were terribly down because everybody's watching the draft.
I tend to agree with you. I mean,
yeah. So Sam,
for NFL and NBA, you gotta just push all other sports away. It's like give them the red carpet, you know?
Yeah, Sam, if he's listening, definitely has egg on his face right now. But he feels terrible. He feels awful. He feels so bad right now.
The shame.
It's such shame. I
don't know really what he's feeling shame about, but
yeah, there's that little guy in his head right now that is acting like that girl, that old lady in Game of Thrones ringing the bell. Shame.
Oh god, what a scene that was.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
I gotta rewatch Game of Thrones.
I know. Well, don't worry about the last few seasons. It's like you can tell when
a problem. I mean, I admit it wasn't as good, but I still thought it was really fucking good. It wasn't as good.
I mean, it's just like the bar was so high. Like I've said that like you can tell when George R. Martin when the source material wasn't the books.
I agree, and also like it annoyed the fuck out of me how easy it was to kill the dragons at the end. You know, like and then this is spoilers. If you haven't seen it, stop listening now. But at the very end, you know, there's that one fucking dragon like destroys Westeros.
Yeah.
Or destroy whatever King's Landing.
There you go.
And then before that, though, like 2 dragons get like picked off like really easily, and that always annoys the fuck out of me. It's like
like one.
you're basically like F-16s, you know,
What was it
so
like
powerful.
like one arrow bolt or whatever?
Yeah, like a crossbow takes it
yeah,
out.
like just boop, down.
And then it's just like, okay, then you're going to this highly fortified castle slash, city. It's like with basically this huge wall around it, and one fucking dragon takes the whole fucking city out. It's
I
like,
know it felt rushed, and it's a lot of little shit like that.
yeah,
Like
and also
it's
like Tyrion was outsmarted
yeah,
so hard. It's like he's supposed to be this genius, and he's just like
the
whatever.
dialogue of Tyrion Lannister in the first, let's call it 5 seasons, is just like brilliant.
Yeah.
I mean, it's so smart, so witty, it's so like on point, and
Yeah.
It's awesome. And then the dialogue or the source material is over, and like he loses everything that makes Tyrion. He loses, and now he's just in a position like, oh, I help consult the leader, but like he loses all sense of just ability to to talk as though he knows what he's talking about.
I agree, but you know what? I kind of have to blame George R.R. Martin, dude. He had like fucking 10 years to write that shit.
Write
like,
that shit faster, bro.
Like,
write that shit faster.
When's he gonna? So he's gonna come out with it after the series?
It's
now?
like, yeah,
It's
like
dude,
I don't even know how that shit's gonna work, man. Yeah,
like,
that's gonna be.
Get up off your ass. Go to he has like 2 houses in New Mexico, like side by side. One's like for writing and one's for chilling.
Yeah,
it's like go to your other house and just start fucking writing, man. Like I know all writers have their processes, but like,
yeah,
I fault him a little bit. I still love him. He's still a brilliant man, but
like I also think like
that's your baby. You gotta have that script ready. I mean, you can't let those fuckers control the story, man.
Well, yeah, and I think HBO also kind of screwed him in the sense that the first season and then the second season and the third, they took an entire book and made it a one whole season, where they could have taken that entire book and made it like they could have broken that up into different seasons, and then all of a sudden, oh shit, we're caught up and we're not done. But now if you're George R.R. Martin, like, what do you do? Like, okay, do I write this book to match what the HBO series was? Or
it's going to be in his head. It's going to be in his head, because
or does it like, do I have to come up with something different? Because if it's the same shit that was on HBO, why are people buying? I mean, I'm sure they still will buy it, but you know what I'm saying? Like, if they already know the ending, it kind of like kills the need. Oh, I can't wait to buy the book. So you almost have to like write a new ending. I don't know. It's like,
isn't he involved with the House of the Dragon HBO series?
Yes,
it's going to come out.
I want to say that like he's already written books on, because I want to say like all that, it's like the backstory of Targaryen. So like that's already been, like, he's already written about all that. I think I'm not, you know how it is on the internet.
Yeah.
Some of these people are like diehard Game of Thrones people. Not one of those, but
it's like fan fiction. Yeah.
Yeah, but it's like apparently that's already been written about in another book. So and I heard that that's like what he's focusing on now is all these side projects. So like another reason why was it the Winds of Winter or whatever it's called is being like put on the back burner. But yeah, man, if he's not careful, Robert Caro is going to come out with his new LBJ book before he does with this Winds. And Robert Caro is notorious for being slow as shit.
Yeah, I think I'm just used to like Stephen King levels of just productivity, but
rocking out novels every other year.
I think every author has their process, and obviously I just love Game of Thrones, and I wanted it to end better as well. I still thought it was entertaining. The certain episodes in those final seasons I thought were just fucking incredible. Like this is the last thing, and then we can end the podcast. But the whole battle scene in King's Landing was unreal. And that the whole battle like at Winterfell with
Yeah,
the
that's what I'm
zombies.
like, dude. I
Oh
couldn't
my-
even see it.
Dude.
I couldn't
was
even
so
see
dark.
it.
It was
It
dark.
was so dark. I couldn't see what the fuck was going on.
You have to watch it in a dark room.
Yeah, oh man.
Smoke a blunt, close
Yeah.
all the windows, get in front of the tube, and just let go into another world for about an hour and a half or however long
Man,
it was.
like that's the thing that annoyed, not just with Game of Thrones, but like a lot of these new movies, that these war movies that have
That tense,
you know,
with the
CGI
filter.
on it,
Yeah.
like everything's going so fast that you're like you can't catch up to anything. Like
Wow,
give me
you
the
sound so
Braveheart,
fucking old right now. But
give me
I
William
agree with you.
Wallace just knocking the head off of motherfucker. Like
William
give me that.
Wallace.
Like I want like a battle, like a sword fight shit, you know?
Well, that's why I really liked the Winterfell battle, because it was a lot of hand-to-hand combat, and I also liked that battle where it was like, was it the Northerners versus Winterfell as well, with Jon Snow was there,
Yeah,
a
Ramsay
giant.
Bolton.
the giant was there. That was fucking tight as
Yeah.
shit. Yeah.
Yeah, man, I'm gonna have to watch. Like I was there was something that got to me about like how
And
that
the
whole
Knights of the
process
Vale
played
show
out
up and
was
like,
very unrealistic.
well, yeah,
About
there's
how like a
magic
real
involved.
battle would have fought like that. Like they wouldn't have just. I'm gonna have to re-watch that. But I thought that battle was, you know, there were things that kind of rubbed me the wrong way. And then also when Cersei, God, I can't believe we're talking about Game of Thrones. Yeah, when she like caught that lady, those sisters from Dorne, the Sand Sisters or whatever, and she caught one of them and her daughter and like locked them in a dungeon.
Oh,
Like,
yeah.
and then that part of the story just ends. Like I was like, oh well, what's gonna happen with them?
I think
And they
got
just like they
poisoned,
never
right?
go back to it.
Or I think it's assumed they just died. Like,
Yeah,
wasn't she
but
like
that's
torturing them, and they just died?
well, she's just like, I'm just like something's. Well, I'm just gonna leave you here. You're gonna watch your daughter
remember.
die, and then I'm gonna come and kill you, or well, something to that effect.
Yeah, yeah. There's something I can't remember if there's closure on that or not. I can't remember.
There's not, and like that's a thread. Given that she's like kind of a semi-important character, that you would have like.
Yeah.
I felt like there was no closure there, and
Yeah. Well,
and I was very disappointed.
this
'cause,
is
I mean, she's good
Gaudy
looking.
Thrones all of a sudden.
Yeah, I
dude.
know, right? We ended
Gaudy
this way.
Thrones.
Wow,
Love
I
it.
can't believe we did a deep dive into Game of
Deep.
Thrones to end this.
So good. What a great series. My friend, I gotta thank you for taking time out of your day, coming on the Gaudy Stats pod.
Yeah, not a problem.
I
man.
appreciate it. Can't wait to have you on again.
Yeah.
Eventually,
We'll
we'll bring the triumvirate together, get Sam and you on the same cast, and
Yeah.
it'll be great, man. But until that time, until I talk to you again, have a great time. A great day.
the Marcus Lepidus of the proverbial Marcus Lepidus of the triumvirate.
That is
Yeah,
a deep cut and extremely insulting.
Yeah, Lepidus was kind of the forgotten one. Yeah,
You guys need to go look that up, and then you'll realize how insulting that was.
it's super insulting. Egg on his face. He's got egg on his face again.
I do not co-sign that. We're all equals.
He's shaking his head yes right now.
Nope, I'm shaking my head.
Yeah,
No.
he's shaking his head yes. I just did it.
He's lying, everybody. It's what he does. He's the Kempster. We love him. But
Yeah, we love Sam. We love him. We love little Lepidus.
Oh my God. Anyways, not co-sign.
Sam.
Until next time.
Sam, my man.
I love you.
All right. See you,
All
bud.
right, buddy. It's been a pleasure.
Yep. Bye.
Until next time. See you.
So gaudy. Gaudy stats. Gaudy stats. Gaudy stats.